Calling the meeting to order. We'll begin with a Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Welcome everybody tonight to the meeting. We're glad to see everyone here. We're going to start with introductions. Dr. Gilman.
Randy Gilman, Assistant Superintendent, Elementary.
Tammy Cardona, Assistant Superintendent, Secondary.
April Meckel, Board Member.
Jim Shalhoub, Board Member.
Carol Yount, Board Treasurer.
Susan Graham, Board Secretary.
John Stewart, Chief Financial Officer.
Kelly Brock, Assistant Superintendent, Human Resources.
Vicki Hansen, Board Member.
Michelle Chamberlain, Board Member.
Crystal Hargis, Vice President.
Paul Frigo, Superintendent.
And Judy Smith, President to the board. We are going on to 2.3, approval of the agenda for the March 1st meeting tonight. We need a motion.
I make a motion.
Second, Chamberlain.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay. 2.4, approval of meeting minutes from February 15th, 2022. I need a motion for that.
Motion Hansen.
Second, Shalhoub.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay. Dr. Gilman, 3.1 is patrons' comments.
Yes, we had two comments this evening. Dan McCarthy is our first speaker. As he makes his way, I'd like to remind our speakers that problems involving a particular identifiable employee or student are reserved for executive session. You'll have 3 minutes, and I think JP is going to give us a 3-minute timer that'll be up on the board there.
All right, I've given everything around me a deep spiritual thought. I'm on a journey towards peace, and I'm finding that in peace in Jesus Christ. I could get up and repeat what is said at every meeting about the ignored science of masks, social distancing, and what we already knew about viruses, but this hasn't been effective. It leaves us with one option, and that is prayer. I think about Vicki Hansen's extremism of students dying from COVID and how masks are the solution. I'll admit my knee-jerk reaction is you're an idiot or you're stupid, but that's truly wrong for me to say, and Vicki, I'm sorry. I can't judge thee, but what I can do is pray for you, and I'll pray that you are relieved of your fear and received God's grace. A few meetings ago, Dr. Fergo met with specialists and had a plan in place which was quickly derailed by Ms. Hargis with an abrupt motion to enforce a mask mandate and a second from Mr. Chalhoub. We can look back at data from places that had mandatory masks and see that it went exactly how it was forecasted by Dr. Fergo, with a spike and a quick decline. I would like to know why or who told Ms. Hargis to make this decision, but instead I'm going to pray for her because she must sleep with that decision and one day answer to someone much greater than I or anyone in this room. I had the pleasure last night to come to the Fox CTA candidate forum, and it really was the same rhetoric from all candidates. I didn't know much about the CTA, and instead of speaking with candidates, I searched out CTA members and immediately seen a teacher my daughter had at Guffey. She was the most caring and helpful person I've ever met in the district. I can honestly say I love this woman. Just knowing her involvement in the CTA and the discussion with the other 4 executive members gave me assurance that this organization's heart is in the right place and we're in this together. I told them how all I'm hearing from educators, boards, and unions is how bad teachers have it. Poor teachers this, poor teachers that. My mother was a teacher and now retired. Never once did she feel sorry for herself, her pay, or work that she did. She loved it. She loved working with the youth, the flexibility of summers and holidays off to spend with the family. It's time all organizations make this mission to set goals to seek talent for teachers, or seek talented teachers they need, especially those who deserve it. We talk about diversity and inclusion, but why does the board choose to only have the NEA represent negotiations for teachers' contract? I asked for an action by the board to include the CTA in contract negotiations. Current contract under 2.1, section 2.1, NEA is exclusive representative for teachers' bargaining unit, current contract, not the new contract underway. It states future recognition shall be determined according to applicable Missouri law or school board policy. I'm not speaking on behalf of the CTA. I'm speaking on behalf of the public, who the board is elected to represent, and we want all teachers to have equal representation. It's your responsibility to promote diversity and inclusion for all teachers. Lastly but not least, I will pray for each one of the board members, for our teachers, and for our community. Thank you.
Jim Osha.
Good evening, and thank you for letting me speak. First, I want to thank everybody for putting the timer up on the board. You know, I was kind of shocked it was done real quick based upon certain history, but thank you for doing that. I know I emailed you, Madam President, and Dr. Fago, thanking you personally, but I wanted to do it publicly. I also want to thank you, Dr. Fago, for making the tough decisions the last couple of weeks. I know you probably got inundated with emails from people when you close the schools. I know it's not the easiest decision. I wouldn't want to be in your seat on those, but driving these roads, I don't know how a bus driver drives over to Hodge on that road in a good day, let alone with weather out there. I also want to congratulate our hockey teams from Fox and Seckman for making it into the playoffs. Unfortunately, we don't bring home the cup, but you don't always win it. And as I've coached teams and whatnot, I've told them, you know, that it isn't always about winning that championship. It's what you learn when you win, but you learn more about yourself when you don't win and improve yourself. I also want to congratulate Cole Rubel and Faith, hopefully I get her name right, Spicer, for winning their state championship divisions in wrestling, so good job to them. On the mitigation plan, I hope this board decides to get rid of the 2% and just leave it up to the individuals to mask themselves if they feel necessary. In the last month, 80% drop in the St. Louis area in cases. So we just need to be smart about it. We don't need to mask up because the CDC's even come out saying that the cloth masks that people wear aren't the greatest to use, and even the ones you buy in Walgreens or whatnot, the blue ones, aren't the best to use either. So just, if you feel like you need to mask up, mask up. Nobody should tell you that you're wrong for it. They may think what they want to think, but if you want to mask up, that's yourself. You know yourself better than anybody else, just like you know your families. So, but I hope from tonight and not starting next year, school year, that the 2% is eliminated and it's just a choice. Thank you.
Okay, we're at 3.2, superintendent comments. Dr. Frigo.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for being here. First, I'm going to start out like I have been, recognizing board candidates. So if you're here, stand up when I call your name. This year, running for 3-year term is Mr. Kenneth Woolsey, Mr. Todd Scott, Mr. Brandon Williams, Ms. Kathy Michalski, Mr. Curtis Frazier, and Ms. Tara Hagan. One-year term, board candidates are Travis Littner, Vicki Hansen, David Knoll, and Ryan Giesler. Thanks to each of you again for willing to do such a great public service. All right. We had this mentioned a minute ago, but I wanted to recognize that on February 17th through the 19th, wrestlers from Fox High School and Seckman High School competed at the state championships in Columbia, Missouri. I'd like to congratulate the following wrestlers for earning all state honors. From Fox High School, we have Faith Spicer on the top left corner there. She's the state champion at 235 pounds, and she is the first high school girl, Fox High School girl, to place at the state championship. So how about that for Faith? From Seckman High School, in the middle at the top, you have Matt Cook. He got second place at 113 pounds. In the top right, you have Dragan Orine. He's third place at 120 pounds. The bottom left, you have John Bambakis, fourth place at 145 pounds. In the middle at the bottom, see another state championship, Cole Rubel from Seckman High School. And then the bottom right, Dylan Carlton, fifth place at 195 pounds. So congratulations to all those individuals. And a special congratulations to Seckman High School wrestling team, who placed second in the state. So that's an awesome performance by those kids. The Fox Warriorettes just competed at the Missouri State Dance Team Championships and did very well this past weekend. They got first place in kick, fifth place in pom, fourth place overall, and then we had 5 girls earn individual academic all-state honors. So we have Savannah Schindler at 3.5 to 3.69 GPA, as well as Briley Beekman. Sydney Siebold with a 3.7 to 3.99 GPA. And then Ella Stone and Lindsey Green had a 4.0 plus GPA. So congratulations to them as well. All right, Monday, February 21st, Seckman High School hosted the Jefferson County Growth Association State of the County Breakfast. This was a great opportunity for leaders from business and civic leaders to see what amazing students we have at Seckman High School and around the districts. Students from Seckman Elementary, Middle, and High created artistic placemats with personal notes for centerpieces for all the tables, as well as Guffey Elementary students created a gift. Every guest got a calendar with artwork by kids for each month to take home, and that was a huge hit with everybody. Lots of positive comments. Yeah, it was really cool, and we got a lot of great positive feedback. I'd like to publicly thank Seckman High School for their hard work setting up the event. They served breakfast, the kids did. They cleaned up once the event was over. And I'd like to thank the administrative staff at Seckman, our maintenance department who worked over the weekend to make sure everything was ready. I visited them on Friday. They were working hard setting stuff up, and then I went Sunday afternoon thinking I would see how things are going and help them, and everything was already set up. So they did just a great job, and it was a great showcase for our district. So thank you for that. Next week is School Board Recognition Week. We don't have a meeting next week, so I wanted to make sure everybody was aware of that, be looking for some messages about appreciating what the school board does. And we'll have a more formal presentation at the board meeting on the 15th, but I'd like to take this opportunity to thank each and every one of you for your service you provide to the students and staff in the community at Fox C-6. So thank you guys. All right, we also have some folks that are doing a great job at the building. Recently, each school in the district named their building teacher of the year. This year was the first year we put into place a support staff member recognition as well for each school building and district department. Now each of these building and department level honorees can apply to be the district teacher of the year as well as the district support staff person of the year, and we're so proud of the accomplishments of these teachers as well as our support staff. So congratulations to each and every one of them. And just remember, a little reminder, we set something out on Facebook today that you can recognize. We like to recognize members of our community, staff, parents, or community members who exemplify the Fox C-6 strong commitment to the district's mission to motivate and inspire success in order to build a foundation for lifelong learning. This award is a small way to show our appreciation of those people who have excelled in their pursuit of making Fox C-6 schools the best it can be. I want to remind everyone in our Fox C-6 family that the nomination window for this Masterpiece Award will close this Friday, March 4th. I encourage everybody in this room and everyone listening to reflect on the members of our family who have made a difference for you or your children and consider nominating them for a 2022 Masterpiece Award. To nominate someone for the Masterpiece Award, use the link on the screen. That's bit.ly/Masterpiece Award. And looking forward to reviewing those nominations. And that is the end of the superintendent's report. Lots of good stuff.
Very good. All right, we're at 4.1, COVID mitigation plan. Dr. Forgo.
All right, we'd like the board to revise the COVID mitigation plan that on buses, that it's recommended students and staff wear face coverings rather than requiring them while riding our school buses. That Information was changed over the weekend, and so we'd like to ask you to approve that recommendation.
Okay, we need a motion to revise the COVID mitigation plan to state that masks are recommended, not required, for students and staff on buses.
I'm going to make a motion.
Second, Chamberlain.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, that passes. 4.2, Memorandum of Understanding about Southwest Baptist University. Dr. Cardona.
I'm asking the board to approve this memorandum of understanding with Southwest Baptist University to place student teachers within the classroom.
Okay, we have a motion.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone
Yes.
opposed? Okay, very good. 4.3, Wilson Company Reading Supplemental Readables, geodes for grades 1 and 2. We need a motion to approve that. Randy, could you tell us something about that?
Sure. Merrimack is their teachers in kindergarten, first and second grade for Title I reading. They use the Foundations program, and these readables will align with that and support literacy. And so we're asking, they're going to use Title I funds for this purchase. We're asking for the board to approve them to get these readables.
Okay, we need a motion to approve the
Oh, I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
the supplemental readables for Title I student materials, funding that purchase.
Motion Hanson.
Second, Meckel.
All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? All right, that passes. We go to 4.4, Flex Program. Dr. Cardona.
So I'm very excited to be able to bring a program to you guys that, number one, doesn't cost any money. So that's a big plus. But the second thing is that I truly believe that it will benefit our students. So I have always been a true believer, and we have to figure out what our students need, and then we need to figure out how to get it to them, whatever that might be. And if a student is on the path to go to a four-year university, we need to support that. If they're on the path to go to a technical school, we need to support that. Military, work, whatever that might be. So DESE offers a flex program, and we offer multiple programs at our high school. So the flex program just basically is a program that juniors and seniors can take part in that allows students to only be on campus for 2 hours each day. So because we're block at the high schools, that would be a block plus an AC lab. And we would have to figure that out a little bit, but they would take 2 classes each day towards their graduation, and as long as that's all they would need to meet their graduation requirement, they would be allowed to leave after those 2 hours, and then they can go and pursue college courses, or they can go to work. And really the reason that I really want us to look at this for our kiddos is because we're offering more and more high school credit at an earlier age. We currently, when I looked at it a couple weeks ago, we already have about 30 to 40 juniors at each high school that would be eligible for this. Now there are requirements. They have to have 95% attendance. They can't be a student that has suspensions and things like that. But this does allow them to pursue those things and kind of get a head start on that. And so I'm just asking the board to approve this for our kiddos.
Anyone have any questions?
I do. Tammy, how would this affect A+? Is there any consequence for this?
So I don't know because they haven't actually graduated yet. They won't be able to use their A+ money. But so this is a little different than any of the other programs like CAPS per se. We're not going to be issuing credit for any courses they might take at the college. We don't help facilitate this. This is just totally when they're done with us after those 2 hours, they go and pursue what they want to pursue. But A+ doesn't kick in until they've actually considered a graduate from us.
So essentially, these people have really already earned enough credits to really graduate other than one, correct?
Most of them, it's going to be like an ELA 4, which is what most of them are going to need their senior year, and then maybe an elective. And really what's happening now is we have students that are just taking classes because we're requiring them to be here 8 hours a day, and they really only need 2 or 3. Now, I don't think we're going to have hundreds of kids leaving, but I do think that this really fits the need for students that's their path.
Have we discussed any possibility of supporting internships or seeking out internships for these kids that want to get experience, excuse me, in whatever they're doing out there?
So I haven't personally looked into that, but one of the things that I know we're starting is the Grow Your Own with the teaching profession, obviously because we're trying to help feed some more people into the teaching profession, knowing that there's going to be a loss in the years to come. But I think that opens up other avenues for us to be able to set up some internships. You know, we need to be able to get our kids out into our community and get them on their path that they're looking for after high school as soon as we can.
Yeah, Jim, this is a perfect opportunity for a kid to be able to commit to an internship in a career they want to explore because their schedule's set, they can commit to it, and it's I was giving thumbs up and smiling to Tammy before because it's another opportunity for our kids to develop that relevance to what they're going to be doing when they leave here, whatever it is. And so I'm very excited about this and looking forward to seeing what our kids do.
Tammy, is there besides the attendance and the discipline issues, is there anything requiring a certain GPA or anything like that?
So GPA is not locked into that, but of course these would be students, I mean, the only way to be eligible is that they're on target to graduate. So, you know, as long as they have their credits and they're only lacking just a couple courses, they would be eligible for this.
I have a question. First of all, I'm so super excited that we're doing this because this gives the kids who aren't in the CAPS program or the tech program for Jeffco just the opportunity to go and learn in a college setting before maybe they either go off to a four-year college. So I'm so excited about that. But I also wanted to ask, how are we going to get the message out to our parents and our students and letting them know that this is...
So that's a really good question. So because students have already started picking their classes for next year, the counselors and I have to sit down and come up with a plan because we've got to make sure that number one, the message is out there, but number two, that we are going through the students that are eligible and that we're checking all of that out. So as soon as I know I've got the approval from the board, we're going to start working on this and get the message out to parents. I'm hoping by the beginning of next week, give them that information because it's not too late for students who may have picked something else to be able to turn now and say, as a senior, I want to be able to take this.
Right.
Great questions.
I make a motion.
I would like to second it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to approve the Flex program. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? All right, very good. We have 4.5 iPad purchase. Dr. Gilman.
Yes, our Director of Federal Programs has worked with our technology department and buildings we have some Title IV money to spend, so we're looking at 60 iPads. These iPads will be instrumental in providing enhanced technology for students in math classes at Guffey, Hamrick, Merrimack Heights, and Sherwood. And like I said, this will be purchased out of Title IV funds, and we're asking for a motion to approve the purchase of these 60 iPads.
Okay, anybody have any questions?
I do. How far away are we from one-to-one through the district? Do you know?
Luke? Is Luke in the building?
I don't think so.
It depends on the building. I mean, secondary is pretty close. Some of our title schools, because they have some of the title funding, are pretty close to one-to-one. So I would say maybe these four buildings plus one more are pretty much one-to-one at the elementary level.
Okay.
We can get you some exact numbers on that though.
I'm just curious, what is the difference between iPads for this particular purpose and Chromebooks that we're using?
I don't know. I mean, they function a little bit differently, obviously. Sometimes the iPads are used for the younger students. JP, you want to jump in on this? You seem squirming back there.
Yeah, a lot of times the iPads are more for creating content, so they'll be visual manipulatives and that kind of thing compared to the Chromebooks, kids especially in the younger grades who do more consuming.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Thank you, JP.
All right. Anybody else have a question?
No more questions.
No more questions. Okay.
Maybe.
All right. All in favor of purchasing the 60 iPads at a cost of $17,640?
Do you have a
Say aye.
motion yet?
Oh, I thought we had a motion. I'm sorry. We need a motion.
I make a motion. We purchased the Chromebooks.
Shalou, second.
iPads.
I mean iPads.
Chromebooks
I'm reading
are next.
I'm reading the next purchase.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, now Dr. Gilman, the Chromebooks, 4.6.
Chromebooks, which are different than iPads. All
I
right.
was speaking about Chromebooks, though, for one-to-one, not iPads.
I understand, yes. Chromebooks for one-to-one.
Gotcha.
So we have a similar thing here. We have Title IV funds. Our Director of Federal Programs has worked with our buildings, and we're looking at 129 Chromebooks. These Chromebooks will provide technology for student use in labs at Londell, Rockport, and Second Elementary, 43 at each school. This purchase is also out of Title IV funds.
Anyone have any questions about the Chromebooks? Okay, we need a motion to approve the purchase of 129 Chromebooks at a cost of $29,258.49.
I make a motion to approve the Chromebook purchase.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? All right. 4.7, an agreement with Blackboard for district websites. Mr. Stewart.
So at the last board meeting, the board approved the bid from Blackboard to serve as the vendor for the district website and mobile application. So tonight you have in front of you the contract to be approved and then executed so that we can move forward.
So move, Shalhoub.
All right, all in favor of approving the contract with Blackboard for the district website? Vote.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? All right, on to 4.8, Fox High School track repair and replacement. Mr. Gilman.
No.
I mean, I'm sorry, Mr. Stewart.
Stop picking on me. I've had enough.
Sorry,
I'm
sorry.
I know we look alike, but, you know. So, for those that may not be aware, early in the spring of 2021, we discovered that the Fox High School track cracked and heaved in various locations, leaving the track damaged. So we reported this to our insurance company, and they sent engineers out, and they investigated the cause of the damage, and they had a geotechnical report, geotechnical engineers out to look and do some core sampling and the like, and they ultimately issued this report that pointed to groundwater, poor drainage, and high clay content in the soil as the cause of the damage. And normally, water damage of this type is not included or is not covered by our insurance. It's excluded. However, the district does have an endorsement that extends coverage to this for $100,000. So we started, after we received that report, which was like November, December timeframe when we got that report, we started investigating the cost to repair and replace the track at the Fox High School. We solicited estimates from two reputable companies that provide this service and install tracks, and we came up with an estimate of around $600,000. They were both close in those estimates. We ended up talking specifically with Byrne & Jones, because we can, in order to get this done this summer, if we want to get it done this summer, before school starts next fall, a contract would have to be on the books so we can get on their schedule. So the contract would have to be executed this month in March 2022. So in order to expedite the process, we are going to be attaching to a national contract through the interlocal purchasing system, which is also known as TIPS, and in order to get that completed for this summer. So the funding from the project, you'll see the bid with Byrne & Jones is $595,975. So the funding from that will come from the Capital Projects Fund, and we will get, after we complete the project, the insurance company will reimburse us $100,000 of that. So this will be a complete removal of the existing track, removal of the rubber surface, the asphalt layer and sublayer. It will be removal of the gravel, rock underneath there, and the subsoil underneath there, and then they will be mixing in lime with the existing soil there to help with the drainage, and then filling back in on top of that with rock, and then 2 layers of asphalt, and then finally a rubberized track layer that will be painted red, we would assume, and striped and all that. And so I'm asking for the board to approve the contract with Byrne & Jones Construction for this project.
Mr. Stewart, are there any kind of guarantees when they do the work that this won't happen again?
That it won't happen again? I don't think there are. There are warranties for, like, I think 1 year on part of the work and for like 3 or 4 years on another part of the work. And this, I mean, it's an interesting situation because as much as we can discern, this has never happened before until last winter. You know, about this time last year is when this happened. And that track has been there since 2012 or something, maybe a little earlier than that. So it's been there for a number of years, and I know there's been water issues in this area forever. So why all of a sudden this last year it decided to heave and crack? I don't know. Is there going to be any guarantees that it won't happen again? No. Our insurance company has some extra asks to make sure the drainage is addressed appropriately because per the geotechnical report, that was part of the issue, was substandard drainage. And so Vernon Jones is aware of that, and all that's included in their bid.
Excuse me, John, what is the condition of the actual turf on that field?
The turf?
Yeah, it's 12 years old? About
I would say it's probably similar
10 years
age.
old? Yeah.
Similar age.
What is the lifespan on that, generally speaking?
I don't know right offhand, because this bid does not address
8 to
the
10
turf.
years. 8 to 10 years.
That's, yeah. I was just curious if we're at a point where we're going to have to replace the actual turf, and if we get this done, can we do that as a separate kind of thing, or do they get done?
Oh,
together?
it could absolutely be done separately. Absolutely could be done separately.
I have a question. Is there any way that we can repair, or how many spots on the track are?
So there are notated 10 places where they did core sampling because of issues, and that is all around the track. It's not like one section. There is a section down at I would say the southwest end where the start for sprint events is, that as you look at it, the lines don't even appear straight because of how wavy the track is. There is in lane 1 about, I would say, approaching the 50-yard line. In lane 1, there is a 3-inch drop from the middle of lane 1 to the edge of lane 1 at the field. That's 3 inches in, I mean, how wide is the lane? 2.5 feet? 2 feet,
Maybe
2.5 feet. So a 3-inch drop in half of that, so in a 1.5 feet or 2.
It's gotten to the point now where, excuse me, Fox High School can't hold track and field events there. And our elementary track meet, we're not going to be able to hold the north track meet. I mean, they can't use the track. So it is unusable at this point.
Before the meeting, I walked the track and I took some pictures, and it's obvious. It's a safety hazard.
Is there any way that we could replace just that portion of the track?
It's all around. You could walk it and see. It's all around. It's
Okay.
marked.
Oh, it's actually marked?
Yeah, they came out and marked it.
Where they took core
I
samples.
have pictures
in-
afterwards if you want to see it.
Okay.
I believe they took 10 core samples at different areas around the track where there were issues. And so it's not like it's, you know, a 50-yard section or even a 100-yard section. It is around the track.
Has the, I got a frog in my throat tonight. I really apologize to everybody for that. Has the second track had any similar kinds of problems?
No. And I believe those both were installed about the same time.
And the fields are the same age, too.
And honestly, Burns and Jones has installed, it says, over 500 tracks. And so they are a very reputable company, and they know exactly what they're doing. I don't know who built the other tracks, but I don't know if it was them. I don't think it was them.
Okay, we need a motion to approve the proposal from Burns and Jones Construction for $595,975 for the repair and replacement of the Fox High School track and the associated contract.
So moved.
Second, Meckel.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Okay, 4.9, construction bids for Fox Campus and Seckman Campus Proposition P projects. Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Happy
so
day.
good news, more moving forward with Proposition P. So on February 12th, bids were received for the Fox campus, bid group 1, and the Seckman campus, bid group 2. And on February the 18th, which is a Friday, we representatives from our architectural firm, Cordigan Clark Ittner, and their design team, and a couple folks from the district, myself and Scott Barbagallo. We met with each of the bidders and reviewed the individual bid proposals, and just talked about the scope and make sure all sorts of things were included and all that, so that we had a full understanding and everybody was looking at the same numbers and same scopes. So as a result, bid group 1, which is going to be bid group 1 for the Fox campus, which is going to be an addition to the front of Fox High School, and a new entrance to Fox Middle School, as well as a new secure entrance at Fox Elementary School. And I should say the new entrance at Fox Middle School is going to be a relocation of the office from where it's at up to a more prominent location closer to the front. And so those bids were received. We had 2 bidders there, ICS Construction Services and Wright Construction Company, and the total combined base bids range between $16,041,000 and $17,925,000. There were some alternates that were included in the contractor's bid proposals, and you have the attached bid tabulation on those. So ICS Construction Services is the apparent low bidder, base bidder for the work, and their base bid in combination with alternates number 1, 5, and 6 total $16,035,200. ICS has had recent experience working with the district and has indicated they're familiar with the project site and bidding documents and contract agreements and all that. So that's going to be our recommendation on bid package 1 for Fox campus. Seckman campus, bid group 2, so that is going to address an addition to the Seckman Middle School of an addition of a library and a couple classrooms, and that of course includes a storm shelter, and then the existing library would be reconfigured into 2 classrooms. Also addresses the secure entrance at Seckman Elementary School, and then has some classroom renovations at Fox High School to the science classrooms. There might be a couple other little things in there as well. We had 5 bidders that we received there. Those base bids range between $4,061,000 and $4,505,000, and you also have those tabulation sheets in front of you. Although Jackson Building Group was the apparent low bidder, their bid did not include any contingency for price escalations from subcontractors, meaning that if there were price escalations, they would be coming to the district to assist with those escalations. Brockmiller Construction, whose bid was only $4,000 higher, did include price escalations in there. So the recommendation is for Brockmiller to receive the base bid in combination with add alternate number 1 for a total of $4,076,000. So again, these projects will be funded with Prop P funds. They will start as soon as school is out. So last day is the 27th of May, I believe. So basically 28th of May, they'll be staging and starting on these projects. And these projects, although part of them will be completed over the summer, the big addition parts, of course, are going to continue to be completed in the summer of '24 for opening in the fall of '24. And we do, if we have any questions, we have Derek Emery here with Cordigan Clark Ittner. So I would ask the board to approve the proposals as presented.
Anyone have any questions?
I actually do. These are the additional recommendations are like the group 2 of the Prop P money. When is Antonia and Merrimack going to start breaking ground? Is that also
They're going to break ground next month.
Oh, good. Okay.
April 22.
Thank you.
Yes. So they will start breaking ground, staging and breaking ground at the 2 elementary schools in April.
You stole my thunder, Michelle. I was going to.
Okay, we need a motion to award Fox Campus Bid Group 1, including base bids and alternatives 1, 5, and 6, to ICS Construction Services for a total of $16,035,200, and approve the contract pending legal forms, and to award Seckman Campus Bid Group 2, including base bids and alternate 1, to Brockmiller Construction for a total of $4,076,000, and approve the construction pending legal form also.
So move, Shalhoub.
Second, Hargis.
And I do want to, just for your information, that pending, the contracts pending legal form, we're negotiating on those right now, and we're really close with the language. So you approving them pending legal form simply means if you approve this, as soon as the contracts are done, the board president can sign those without having to come back.
All in favor? Anyone opposed? Okay. 5.1, second reading and adoption of policy GCBDA. Dr. Brocht.
We're requesting that the board accept this policy, GCBDA, for a second reading and adoption. This was presented for a first reading last month, and no changes have been made.
Okay. I need a motion to approve the attached policy for the second reading and adoption.
Motion, Hanson.
Second, Chamberlain.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? All right, 6.1 consent agenda, items 6.2 through 6.6. Dr. Brocht, would you like to say anything about those? Nope. All right, motion to approve all consent agenda items as presented.
I make a motion.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Yes.
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Motion to adjourn.
Motion, Chamberlain.
All in favor?
Yes.
Anyone opposed? Thank you. Good evening, everyone.